Alright guys, welcome back, and this isn't exactly the video I was hoping to make. We're like 1 week out from the ruckus, and this thing has got to be there. Like, I was gonna take the Ford if this wasn't done, but then I was like, no, this thing's got to go. As you can see, all of this is buttoned up. I've got everything plumbed, it's clamped. The engine on this thing is ready to go. The problem is, I still don't have a trans in it, and we'll talk about that. So here's the clutch out of this thing. It's a spec stage 3 plus, and you can see it's taken a beating. It's in rough shape. It's had a lot of heat put in it, and it really struggles to hold some of the bigger clutch dumps. And I really can't get it into fourth gear without just slipping this thing really, really bad. So I need an upgraded clutch. And that's where that leads us to right now. Is the trans is sitting over here. And as you can see, it doesn't have an input shaft in it. Because I figured if I'm going to put a better clutch in it, I should get rid of this little input. This is an 1 1/8 10 spline. It's the gas input. There's an aftermarket diesel version that's 1 3/8 10 spline. And I have that input shaft. So here we go. This is the little gas input. This is the much larger 1 3/8 input. So this is what I want to put in there. But no one makes a clutch disc for that'll fit a 5.9 Magnum. So I got a hold of spec because, I've been using their clutch. And I talked to them. They said, yeah, no problem. We'll build you a stage 5 clutch disc for this input, and we'll reuse your old pressure plate. So I sent my old pressure plate off to spec 6 weeks ago, and they said, yeah, we'll get you clutch back. Should take about 2 weeks or so. 6 weeks later, I've got no pressure plate. I've got no clutch. And I haven't gotten an update from them in 3 weeks. Been emailing them, calling them, and I just haven't been getting an answer. So I've got to do something, because I want this thing back on the road. So my plan is, I went to Rock Auto and I bought a stock pressure plate. And I didn't send my clutch disc back to spec because they're just going to build a new one. So I still have the stage 3 plus, and that's going to go on here with the stock pressure plate and the stock little input shaft. And that's going to get this thing back together. Which sucks because that clutch wasn't holding before with a better pressure plate, so I think I'm going to be holding even less power now. And at the ruckus, they're going to have dirt drags, and I really, really, really wanted to do some 4-wheel drive launches with this thing, because that would be amazing. Which is one reason I wanted that. I want to dirt drag this thing, but I can't do it, so I need to cobble this together just to get it back together and get it down there. Long term, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll hear something back from spec. I haven't paid them because they haven't told me how much I owe. I don't know if they built it. I'm kind of just counting that pressure plate as lost right now. I've got a couple other companies that seem like they can probably build me the clutch and pressure plate I need, so I'm probably going to go that route. But overall, we'll see. I did really like that clutch. I know I was asking a lot out of it. So we'll see what happens, but I need to slap this back together. Because, like I said, we're less than a week out, and I have got to get this thing back on the road. Because I want to update, I need to tune in for the new wastegate. I need to tune in for the new intercooler. I need to make sure the pump's good. The water meth system's been removed. I've got a clutch setup, a hydraulic clutch setup that I'd like to try to hopefully keep this working. But I've got a ton. I also want to update the Holly to the new V3 Terminator software because it's got better boost control, since I'm going to have zero tuning on this thing, really. So Sucks, but I gotta cobble this stuff back together, get the trans back in, and then we'll see what happens. Alright guys, it's time. I think I've got it all back together. There's no coolant or water in it. Obviously I left the fenders off just so I can kind of get to everything a little bit easier, but I think it's ready to start up. I'm really scared. This thing hasn't run in like 3 months, and I kind of put it back together over a long period of time, so I probably forgot something. But I think I've got everything together up here. This is powered up because I just set the distributor, and I guess we'll just crank it over and hopefully nothing bad happens. Well, it runs and has oil pressure, so that's good. And the belt sounds just as awful as always. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, I'll take that. It's burning off all the crap underneath. Yeah, I got some extra heat shields in here because of this, but I mean, everything was oil soaked from last time, but hell yeah. Alright, that's good news. Now I put the fenders back on, fill it with water, put some real rear tires on the back because I got the little baby burnout ones. We can go test drive this thing. Oh, that's a good feeling. Alright. Let's see how this goes. Real worried about the clutch. It's grabbing really high.
Can you adjust that at all?
Not really. I just hope it doesn't mean that it's going to be super weak.
That sounds crazy.
It might need a blow-off valve now.
Sounds like a damn rattlesnake in my ear.
That wasn't really any boost. It started to light really slow, and then it started to light really fast. Clutch! The clutch is letting go.
Ready? God.
Yep.
Oh.
As soon as it makes over like 4 pounds, the clutch slips. My intake air temps are phenomenal.
Well, that's good at least. Yeah, I can smell it.
I just don't know what to do. I was worried that this thing was just gonna kill a clutch. I didn't think it would slip that bad though.
Right, yeah. That seems crazy that it's slipping that quick.
Is it slipping?
I don't
Or is
know.
it spinning the tires?
It feels like it's spinning the tires, but it could be either. I mean, we can look at the camera and see.
I can't even see how much boost it's making or what I'm revving to.
I can't see either.
That spun the tires.
Yeah.
That was $5 and like 8 pounds.
Damn.
I took a ton of boost out of it just because I didn't know how the bigger
Right.
gig was going to do.
Yeah. Feels a little spicy.
Feels good. It's definitely down on power from last time, but
Feels like it's been so long since I've driven this thing. Good Lord.
it's only making 8 pounds.
What do you have it set to?
I only have like 4 pounds on the wastegate, so that's not a surprise. We can turn it up. I mean, it's real nasty where it is, but it's definitely down power.
Think it's gonna hold more power though?
Should. I think it'll hold 15 with the intercooler on it.
I mean the one.
Clutch? Oh yeah, good point. Maybe we'll just leave it at 8. And when we get to the ruckus, we just slowly work up to it. We can add more, but honestly, this thing on 8 will do anything on that dirt track I need.
For sure. I mean, I think you were only making 8 the first year we were there.
And it's more power on 8 now because it's on E85 with an intercooler and a cam. Intake air temps are like dead on 120. It sounds ridiculous.
It sounds crazy.
That's tire spin for sure.
Yeah, it's a little rowdy.
She's bedding in, thank God. That might have been clutch. It's really hard to tell. I think if I can keep the RPMs up, I can get it to hold. Hello, dirt track practice.
It just sounds insane.
And it's got a wicked exhaust leak I gotta figure out, but it seems like it's pretty good. Yeah, I think I just need to knock it into it down low.
Yeah.
Give it some RPM to work with. It seems like it'll be good enough.
That's really good.
It looks sick too.
Yeah, it does.
I did go in and soften number 6 just in case. I took 2 degrees of timing out and I added 3% fuel just to number 6 since we knocked number 6 out so many times.
Yeah.
But my intake air temps are like 125.
Still probably smart though. Whatever's going on with that number 6
Yeah.
cylinder.
That poor turbo, that's gonna be so hard on it. This thing needs a blow off valve bad now.
Yeah.
It's got so much more intake volume now with the intercooler.
Probably a good idea.
Oh yeah, she spins tires. That's not clutch. That was all 4 mud tires rolling over. You can feel the wheel hopping.
Yeah, you can feel the wheel up for sure.
I got them aired up. They're at, well, aired up. They're at 30. Like, but they're not. I usually run them down in like the 20s, just for like max grip. But for the dirt track, I'm like, yeah, I want it a little looser in the back. Ooh, sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Really nice having a tach.
Yeah.
It doesn't really want to pull over 5 right now, and I'm not sure why.
Huh.
But it doesn't really matter because it's blowing the tires off at 4.
Still alive.
I mean, I never had a tach. It could have been doing that before. Like, it might just be valve floating.
True.
I mean, it's got better valve springs, but barely. They're like the lowest level valve springs, but it's not a big cam either. But adding, 8 pounds of boost on top makes them a little more ineffective. Man, that exhaust leak is killing me.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I gotta be easier on my shifts. It's slipping on the shifts. When I went 3 to 4, it slipped on 4.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to figure out how to drive around the clutch for now.
Yeah. We just gotta get to the ruckus. We gotta get on the dirt track. I mean, that's all this was cobble it together to get there and have some fun. And I think it's good enough. It's definitely not 100%. Like, I mean, when I'm slipping the clutch on 8 pounds at 4, it's like,
Yeah.
it sucks, but it is what it is. We just gotta deal with it.
Pretty, like you said though, just something to get us there at least.
Yeah. It's really progressive still. I think it should be a good tune for the dirt track. I was worried about boost lag with the intercooler, and it definitely spools slower, but not by much. And honestly, it could be because I took so much off the gate. Like it took so much boost out of it.
Yeah.
I was really hitting it hard down low before.
Yeah. It really doesn't seem laggy.
No. It just sounds ridiculous.
It really does.
Oh yeah, she's still got it. You see the fireballs out the wastegate?
I did not. I'm too short.
This clutch will do. I mean, it may not do the launches I want. It may not be able to take the power shifts, but it'll do what it needs to.
That'd be a little easy on it.
Yeah, about that. About that.
I know, it's not really in your normal repertoire.
I have a goldfish memory. I'm like, I'm gonna take it easy, and then 3 seconds later, I'm like, oh, that's on the floor.
It is so true.
All right, guys. Yeah, it's back together. It has a stupid stock pressure plate with that clutch disc, but it slips a little. I'm gonna have to baby it, but it'll spin 4 mud tires on pavement. And if it can do that, I think we're good enough to go do something at the Ruckus. I am pumped for the Ruckus. I think I could still do the burnout, even with the clutch. I'm still gonna try the dirt drags because what do I have to lose? But this thing is gonna be totally sideways around a dirt track again. I cannot wait. That's why I slapped it back together with this stupid clutch setup. And it works. And the intercooler works. This thing sounds insane. God, I can't wait to go just beat the crap out of this thing again.